Hello and welcome to VGB's podcast, episode 15. I'm one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Niki Grayson. And listen, if you don't listen to this podcast within the next 2 weeks, it's going to go off the internet forever. And we're going to explore all options to find our listeners. So you have 2 weeks. Listen to the show. And if you don't...
How much money did we spend on this? $40 million?
$400 million.
Oh,
it took us 8 years to make this episode.
That's great.
I really hope that about 2.3 billion people buy this episode, on Bandcamp, because we have to make our money back.
Does Epic still own that, or did they got rid of it? Right?
I think they got rid of it. What?
I think they got rid of it. I think they sold it to like some sort of like
a VC firm, or
VC
something.
music, VC shit.
They are now owned. They're a subsidiary of Song Trader.
Yeah, exactly.
It
feels like they own Deezer also.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Deezer?
No.
What
did they do?
What's the Scrabbles one? I don't know what Deezer is.
Scrabbles?
What's the one that did Scrabbles?
The fuck is Scrabbles?
You know Scrabbles.
No.
You don't know Scrabbles?
No. Is that where
Last FM?
Oh, I know Last FM.
Last FM had Scrabbles, and I think Scrabbles is their word for plays, or maybe it's subscribers.
Right. Got it.
I'm gonna Google what is a Scrabble.
Why do I look like a tennis pro? I hate the way I look.
Go to the Men's Warehouse, bud. Scrobbling is the act of tracking your music. A Scrabble is a play of a song. And then here's the Redditor using it in a...
Like what? So Netanyahu obviously going to go to The Hague at some point. Are they before or after him on the docket?
For Last FM?
Yeah.
I think they're probably knowing the Hague.
Knowing the Hague probably before him. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, so their example of a sentence is Spotify stopped scrobbling and I lost 50 Scrabbles yesterday.
That's good. That's great.
I fucking love scrobbling, baby. Listen, we should all get back on Last FM.
Let's get back on Last FM
right now.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Did you have RDO, John?
Oh, like for a nanosecond, yeah.
Yeah, before Spotify.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I was around for Napster, which was really fun. Napster was honestly so cool. Like, it was so much fun.
Well, just because it was all of the music, and
it was all of the music, and also it was just like it was loot boxes before loot boxes, right? Like you would download Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you're like, wow, I love this song because I'm 9, and I'm so excited to listen to the song. And then you open it and it's like, it's actually a really, really low quality version of Chop Suey by System of a Down. It's great. It's like you never know what you're gonna get. It's pretty cool.
I'm signing up to Scrabble and track my music.
Mm-hmm.
They don't support Apple Music.
So
that's it. I can't Scrabble.
That was very quick.
I'll die before I get to Scrabble.
I went to go buy a toll tag today because I racked up more than $300 of tolls in Dallas in the past 2 weeks. And if you
buy the tag, those go away, right?
If you buy the tag, they mostly go away. That goes down to like $60. So huge. I was like, we're not going to drive the toll roads that much. We're just doing it because it's the fastest way to get from my parents' house to the new house. And I was there to deal with that and get a toll tag. And there was this like sticker on the wall that was like, oh, it's like sports themed. Like it's like I get a Mavs one.
Oh.
Or like a Texas one. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I saw that it was an extra $20. But the funniest part is that the Cowboys one is an extra $25.
That's Jerry's money.
I mean, fucking Jerry Jones is unreal.
That goes straight to Jerry.
It's unreal. Yeah, wow. We negotiated a great deal to get that extra $5 from the North Texas Toll Association. And I think it's a great deal. We haven't won a game. We haven't won a playoff game. I'm all in, though, on the toll roads. Give me that extra $5 money. Walking around money is what I call it. It's horrible.
God, so did you get a Mavs one?
No, because I was like, I don't want to spend $20. That's stupid.
Are you gonna get a new plate?
Yeah, I got to.
You should get a custom one.
What would I put on my? You can't
pop that old expired plate back on there that you had when you were at Fanbyte.
Great question. I wonder what would happen if I did that.
You probably would get in trouble.
I would probably get in trouble. I don't think they would like it very much. I think I probably need to get a new one.
Oh, you don't even have that many.
No, I don't have that many
specialty
options.
Plates.
Custom.
Wow,
Texas.
too woke, or maybe not woke enough.
Maybe not woke enough. I don't think.
Wait, hold on.
Let's see.
Specialty plate license plates. Order specialty license plates. Oh, this website seems illegal, but it is real.
Okay.
When I Googled custom Texas plates, it took me to a website called myplates.com. And I was like, this can't be right. So I left and I went back to I went straight to the DMV website for Texas. And then they just kicked me right back to myplates.com. So this is the right one. You've got one that looks like a cop's. You've got black. You can get one that says oil and gas on it. You can get one that has flowers on it. There are 500 options, Sean.
There are a lot.
Holy shit. You can get the one from 2000. You can get one with the American flag on it. You can get one that...
I can get one that says Balatro.
Really?
Yeah. Just typing it out.
Oh, I see. I thought there was like a Balatro collab.
No, that would be insane. Okay, let's see.
Can get... Now, here's something that's incredible, John. Mm-hmm. You can get an Arizona State University Sun Devils trident on your Texas license plate. They'll just give that to you. They'll give you an Auburn University one. They'll give you Baylor. They have 2 for Baylor. They'll give you a BYU plate. You can get one for the Colorado School of Mines. And they'll pop that that bad boy on there for you. Would you like to take a guess as to what the mascot for the Colorado School of Mines is, John? You get one guess, and if you get it, I'll give you another house.
Ask that one more time.
The Colorado School of Mines mascot.
The Wombats.
Incorrect. I'll give you one more guess.
Okay. The mountain.
The answer we were looking for was ore diggers. Ore diggers.
Imagine being in that stadium. They're all yelling that. You're like, what the fuck are they saying?
You can get one that says Fish Texas on it. It has a big picture of a fish.
Yeah, I've seen the Fish Texas ones. Those are pretty fun.
Oh fuck, here. It's not available. It would be so sick if you had Fish Texas and it just said John, but it's not available. So it's taken already. You could get a blood donor one. You get Space Shuttle Columbia. Dyer.
Space Shuttle Columbia?
Yeah, one of the ones that exploded. Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's like that is damning yourself to getting into a car accident where your car bursts into flames. Unfortunately, if you get the Space Shuttle Columbia plate.
Well, I can't get one that has two like you can get symbols on the Texas ones.
Yeah.
And so I did Texas Wario Texas, and that's not available.
Fuck.
That's dumb.
That sucks. You can get a deaf driver's awareness one. Do they make you get a disabled one?
Do they make me get one?
Yeah, like, do you have to get a disabled plate or no?
Oh no, I can just use the placard if I want.
The placard?
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Do you want a Global War on Terrorism service medal one?
Yeah, I definitely do want that. Okay. I want that.
Well, that one's only $40 a year. These things range in price.
Oh wait, whoa, yo! I can get. Oh my god! I can get the old Texas one.
I said that at the beginning, John.
I know, but I didn't know it was the exact design. I thought I hadn't seen it yet. It really
no,
is
it's the old one. It is $90, and it has Spatial Columbia on it.
It does have Spatial Columbia. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. I don't think the Texas used to be red. That's why I think I got distracted.
Oh, I think it probably is different because it has to be slightly different, you know?
Yeah.
You can get one. What is Calvary Hill? And it's just 3 crosses. What's that?
I don't know.
And it says one state under God.
Oh no. Oh,
so you do want that one? Okay, so that's $90 a year. Well, that's cool because it's.
I'm Alf. Let's see.
Anything good?
No.
Oh, they discontinued the Houston Rockets one. You can't get that one anymore.
Oh, boo.
You can get the Don't Tread on Me snake.
I know. You can get the No Steppy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can get an Olympic Committee one.
Olympic Committee?
Yeah. It's got the Olympic rings on it.
Whoa. Maybe I should get a Remax insurance.
That's huge. One. That's good.
Let me think about the funniest one I could get.
You can get Austin College.
Yeah, my dad has an Austin College one.
That's $70 a year.
I could just get some Stolen Valor and do like a.
That's what I was gonna say. Do they check?
How would they? You know.
Pretty easy to check, though, huh?
Is it? Is there a database so I could just look up John?
Where a database of people who were in the military? Yeah, I do think that there is probably a checkable database.
Yeah, but can I go see that, or like would someone have to have access to that?
So your question is, does the Department of Motor Vehicles, the government organization,
right? No, like
Texas, have the ability to check and see whether the Texas resident.
I don't think you're listening to me.
Okay.
I'm asking, is there a way to look it up? Like if you're just normal, like you don't,
you can.
Yeah, if you're like, I know the DMV has special powers. But like can a normal person?
Was this person in the military.com? Yes.
But there is? Damn.
Yeah.
God.
It's called Circa.
Damn it.
Wait, does this mean how far back do you think it goes?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good. Oh my God. The citrus industry?
Oh, for all the oranges that you grow.
The citrus
you grow so many oranges.
Industry. It's a grapefruit.
That's like an orange, but worse.
It's like an orange, but worse. Here's
you can get honeybees. John, honeybees
is fun.
Honeycomb.
I just sent you the grapefruit one, which is really fucking funny.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that kind of bangs. Actually,
it's kind of amazing. All right, let's see. Start with the design. I want to find. You saw there's bees.
Yeah, here's the bees one. It says "Love honeybees" on it. And then
that's so good. Honeycomb.
It's really good, actually.
That's great.
It's only $70 a year. You can get
okay, so I could literally get a VGB's Texas Love Honeybees license plate.
That's
for
$70 a year. You should
do
that.
It's pretty good.
You've spent $70 on worse.
I've spent $70 on worse. Now I do live with someone that did get her own vanity plate. And after literally a week, she was like, I don't like driving around where people can easily remember my license plate. And I was fair. Like, that's fair. So I'll probably
so maybe don't get it then. Maybe just get a regular one.
I might just do the bees one, but with, just random shit.
What if you got a second car?
Oh, second car. That's a really good idea. I hadn't thought about it like that.
You could get it, and it's PP is not available.
PP is not available. I already looked. Pee poop not available. Waluigi not available.
Milk.
Help with 4 P's not available.
Help with 2 L's available. Mm-hmm.
Help. That's fun.
Peebus not available.
What about
Pubis? Pubis is available.
Okay, I can't get drugs.
Damn, you can't get Texas either.
Astro
Bot. No, not available.
Toilet not available.
Damn. All the good ones are taken. Probably.
All the good ones are taken. Rat. What about the name?
They got to do a purge.
Raviol is available.
Oh, that's good.
Raviol.
They got to do a purge of license plates the same way. Remember when they were going to do a purge of Twitter accounts?
Yes.
And then they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about a video game?
No.
Okay.
Oh, one second. Wow, yeah. Okay. Lasagna is available. Lasagna!
On the grapefruit one? That kind of
lasagna is pretty good. You know what? I'm really gonna think about lasagna. That's pretty good. Let's talk about video games. Let's talk about Astro Bot, a game that I'm very fucking angry that I can't play because I don't have any of my shit.
Well, I've almost already beaten it, so
that's what everyone I know is like. I basically started playing this game a few days ago. Haven't stopped. I've platinumed it because I'm so delighted by it, and I don't want to stop.
Long. It's not that long. Thing. It's 12 to 15 hours. It's really good.
Yeah,
and like in a way where I'm hesitant to oversell it. Because I think that it's like...
A lot of people have been overselling it.
Yes.
A lot of people have been saying, oh, this is the best thing PlayStation's ever made, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I do think that's true. But that's the thing, though. Like, I do legitimately think that those things are true.
Well, that's big.
I think it's probably better than... There are only 3 Mario games that are better than it.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe not even 3. It might only be 2.
Now, dig this grave. I'm really curious about which of those.
Which 2? I think it's Galaxy 2 and Odyssey. Odyssey are the ones.
Those are 2 really good games.
Yes, and I would confidently put this up there.
Okay, so it's Astro Bot better than Galaxy 1.
Yes,
that's very big praise.
Yeah. This game is basically just Galaxy 2 with the way that it is presented and the variety of stuff that you are doing. You're constantly doing something different. Astro Bot is closer to Galaxy 2 than it is to Odyssey. But it's just a competently made 3D platformer. Yeah. It feels good to play. Yeah. There's joy and life in every single bit. The whole thing feels considered. It does not feel throwaway. It feels as expensive as one of these should feel, which is to say that like there's a million things happening on the screen in a way that is very specific and intentional. The console or like Team Asobi is like overjoyed with the idea that they can display thousands to millions of little bits of fucking confetti or like sprinkles or little jewels and gems. They love it. And they're like, yeah, we'll put as much of that shit on the screen as possible. We will have it all be interactable. So it looks pretty when you touch it and when you move it and when you like move through these spaces and these levels, they feel tailored and it feels great. Like it's just a joyous experience. There's references obviously to older Sony games, and some of them are like not hit and miss for me, because it's just that like I don't have allegiance to as much of the stuff in it as I think a lot of people do. So like sometimes it would present a character to me and I would be like, I don't know who the fuck that is, but someone somewhere popped because of that.
It's Agatha from the last third of Last of Us, or
something. And some of the characters like are on that scale of popularity, and like for me that's nothing, but for somebody else that's something. And and I'm sure that there is stuff that has made me pop that is not going to do anything for someone.
Oh my god, it's Kratos' brother, Jeff.
Jeff,
cool. He's here.
So that stuff is really cool. The way the hub world, I think, is delightful. You're rescuing these bots. The PlayStation 5, if you can believe it, gets fucked up yet again. Can you believe it? After the events of Astro's Playroom, when the PlayStation 5 broke,
he couldn't prevent it from happening.
No, you couldn't prevent it from happening. It happens again. All the chunks of the PlayStation 5 get scattered into space. And when you rescue the bots, they go back to the home planet. And
Astro Bot Homeland Security has a lot to answer for.
They have a lot to answer for. He's always late. Make you think, what is TSA even for? But all of the bots go back to this home planet, and there are non-reference bots. So just like jobbers, and then there's and then there's the reference ones. So the jobbers
Roman Reigns and John Cena and all that.
They're working on the jobbers are working on the PlayStation 5. And then the ones that are references are hanging out doing stuff from their games. When you complete levels, you get currency. And one of the first things that you unlock with the puzzle pieces, there's like 3 hidden puzzle pieces on every stage. You unlock different things. So like there's customization options, and there's like a photo mode that you can unlock and that kind of stuff. And the first thing that you unlock is a gotcha machine, which was in the previous games. And when you pull the gotcha out, it gives you a toy basically for the Astro Bot, like for the reference bot. So it's like, I don't actually. Hold on. John, stall while I look at the embargo.
Oh, yeah. So Niki's going to look at the embargo because there are probably a lot of surprises that Sony doesn't want people talking about, which, makes sense, I guess, but it's kind of silly because, the game's going to be out and it's like, doesn't really matter and everyone's talking about it anyway. And,
I'm thinking, I didn't say stop stalling.
Okay. You're just going to start talking in the middle of my stalling. That's fine.
Prior to launch, in your review and accompanying video capture, please do not include the following spoiler content: in-depth discussion of every unique PlayStation cameo and hero gameplay. Uh-oh. Okay, great. So I'll tell you about one of the first bots that you get, right? You're in this vaguely jungle zone. Spoilers for Astro Bot. It feels crazy to be like there's spoilers for a 3D platformer, but like
it's fine.
Come on, gang. You'll be okay. You are running up and there's this huge crate of fruit. And the first crate is like apples, and you hit the thing, and then it's like, oh fuck, that's the most apples I've ever seen on a screen in a video game. is the thought that I had. I was like, that's crazy. These apples look so
many
good.
Apples.
And then the apples are really big, because Astro Bot's small, and the apples are like apple size. So like you can really get the camera in there, and it's like, man, that's a good looking video game apple. They went off, and they really all look this good. And then there's a little pathway it's a split path, so you can go left, which is the intended path, or you can go right. And then there's another crate, and it's a little bit in the distance, and it kind of looks like apples. And then you get up to it, and then you're like, oh, these aren't apples, they're shaped weird. And then it's Wumpa fruit. And then you break the thing, and inside of that crate is Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, that's fine.
From Crash Bandicoot. So then you rescue him, and then you go you finish the level, and then in the gacha machine, you can get the mask guy. What's that guy's name? That famous character we all know and love, John.
You know what's crazy is I almost just like shouted a name that if it's wrong, would be crazy racist. So let me just
think you were going to say Ooga Booga, but that's because
no, I wasn't.
That's
what
he says.
Right. That's.
What is the mask's name?
Well, you know what?
What is it?
It's Aku Aku.
Aku Aku. So he's there. So you get him, and he hangs out. And each of the reference spots, or the PlayStation.
I was gonna say Baka Baka. So I was close.
It's not
Aku Aku.
You were close.
Yeah.
Some of the letters are there.
Yeah.
And they give you. Each of them has a little toy. And it's really nice. It feels very alive, right? Like there isn't that much interaction between the bots, but there are enough of them themselves. So like some of them have like the God of War one is in the trailer, so I'll talk about this one. But it's like there's multiple God of War characters, so they get their own little platform, and all of the God of War characters hang out in their little zone. Yes, and then like some of them don't have a lot of representation, so they're kind of off to the side by themselves, and they're kind of organized by genre or era, but it isn't really like that. As you get more bots, you're basically unlocking new areas on that hub world, which is really cool because you'll get into a new area, and then that will be like, okay, for this zone or for this little thing, you need to have 50 bots out of the 300. There's 300 total, and then you'll like, it's kind of Pikmin-esque, like 50 bots will come over and like they'll build a bridge for you, and you walk across them, and it's like, it's very funny to see like, oh, like 30 of them are generic, but then that is the Bloodborne guy. Like that's just the Bloodborne guy. So like, and he's holding hands with Crash Bandicoot, and you're like, okay, this kind of bangs.
All right,
like, this is good.
Great. Sure.
I don't know, dude. Like it's so pure, and by which I mean like it really is a video game. It's not trying to be anything that is not a video game. And I do think that a lot of games try to be too much, and I think it is a criticism that I would levy at most of Sony's output, because I don't really like very many Sony games, especially in this modern iteration of them. PS4 forward, right? Like it just doesn't particularly resonate with me. I really liked God of War 2018 or whatever year that was, and I like Spider-Man 1 and 2, but like the rest of the stuff, like that's not why I come to video games, right?
No.
This is a thing that is going to be universally playable. It is going to be able to be understood by everybody. It is mass market. It feels fun, and it also does feel like a thing that you can only do with this medium. When you're playing Last of Us, to me, the video game feels like shit to play. So you might as well just watch it. So what did they do? They made a TV show out of it because it's functionally the same thing. You just get the same experience because you don't have to play it, right? You're not going to get the same experience with Astro Bot if you don't play it. And I do think that a lot of that is the interactive aspect. Do you like the PlayStation 5 controller? I think I know the answer.
Yeah, I actually do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like holding that thing. I think it sucks to hold. But it is a situation where I said this on Revengeance earlier today, but it does feel like only the second game that understands that the DualSense can do the stuff that the DualSense can do.
Yeah.
There is stuff where you have to move the controller. It uses the adaptive triggers constantly. And like, obviously, like if this stuff isn't for you, you can turn it all off and it remaps. Like a lot of the motion stuff, it'll remap to being on the stick. So there's accessibility options for you there. But it's got motion controls. It uses the microphone like it's on like a DS game where you have to blow into the fucking controller to do stuff.
Yeah.
When you step on things, because there's a speaker in the controller, like you're getting sound from two places, right? You're getting sound out of your TV or whatever, or your headphones, and you're getting sound out of the thing in your hands.
Right.
And it always is down relative to you. So it's like, usually it's footsteps. And when Astro steps on different stuff, it sounds different. If there's a gust of wind and stuff blows over Astro, you can feel it in the controller because of the way that the vibration motor works. Like, it is aware of the fact that the controller is the controller, and it feels first party in a way that I think a lot of other first party games do not feel. And it's just like, imagine if Nintendo remembered that the Switch had a touchscreen, you know?
Right.
Like, that's what this feels like. It's like Sony remembered that they could make a video game that used the thing that they made. And is the reason why the controller costs $1 million fucking dollars or whatever. Yeah. Do you have questions specifically about it, John?
Yeah, I feel like, so there, I guess what I would ask is like, does it feel like without all the cameos and things like that and the celebrations of PlayStation, does it feel like a game like without that stuff, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could not know who any of these fuckers are.
It wouldn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. They're just like, as sheer collectibles.
Yeah.
They're great. At the end of every level, there is I guess what they're calling them, like they're calling them hero levels. But like at the end of every galaxy, you work alongside a PlayStation character. One that they've shown already is the God of War one, so I'll talk about that one. But it changes it, like the gameplay of the game becomes closer to the thing that they are referencing. So in the Astro Bot level, you get the axe, and the control scheme is the exact same as it is in God of War. Right
That's
trigger
fine.
to throw the thing, and left trigger to pull it back. And the level is huge relative to the size of these other levels. Mm-hmm. It feels open. There's stuff to explore. It's non-linear. You're moving through these zones. It's got those crystal birds that you get something when you find all the crystal birds.
Yep.
You're using the axe to freeze stuff. You're using the axe to like kill multiple enemies. Like, it feels like a Playmobil Lego version of that thing in a way that feels authentic and is joyous. I think that if you sat down right now and were like, there are 5 like worlds in the game. There's no way you're gonna get all 5. Basing it on like the video game, like on your understanding of PlayStation, if you were going to make this list, you are not going to get all 5 because at least 2 of those picks are so fucking obscure that when they happened, I was like, damn,
what? Like
good on you for like having the courage to send that email and be like, we think we're gonna do these ones. And then also for whoever needs to sign off to say, yeah, absolutely. But I think the other side of the coin is that it highlights all of this stuff that Sony has left out in the fucking rain to get wet and die.
That was my next question about, like, we'll talk about Concord a bit, but
not a single reference, which I do think is actually crazy. I was thinking, but if you're Sony,
they had time. They had time.
You know when these video games, yes, you know when these video games are coming out, you're intentionally putting them out back to back. Like, Concord success notwithstanding, it's a Sony game. Yep, that they made. Right. Not a single reference in here.
Seems damning, right? That they probably already knew. Yeah, they were like, well, we're not. This is nothing. So don't put it in Astro Bot.
And there's a chance that I just haven't come across it. There's
or recognized it, right?
Yes, exactly, or recognized it. But like, I don't know. I figured it would have been a little bit louder, but I'm sure they're probably counting their lucky stars that it was not.
That's not. Yeah, but I guess my question, kind of in that vein, is like, is it just a crazy amount of dissonance? Or does it give you maybe a spark of hope that if this does well, it's a message to them?
It doesn't feel like that particularly. Okay. Only because I think if you think about it for 2 seconds, you're like,
the money doesn't like
the money doesn't,
the money part
right?
Doesn't. Yeah.
Sony is not going to green light
Siphon Filter 5 or whatever.
Right. exactly. Because exactly. They're not gonna greenlight another fucking Vib ribbon because people pop off at the fact that Vib
SOCOM is back. Right.
Yes, exactly. And it's like some of this stuff does feel like Brazil mentioned, to me. Right. And like that part it's fine, but it also like if you are expecting this to be a barometer for how Sony feels about these properties, it's not gonna. You're not gonna get it.
Feel that way.
You're not. Don't feel that way, because it's not gonna be representative. It is a loving, considered celebration of the last how many 30 years of PlayStation. And then I kind of think that is all of that part of the game is. I need to be very clear. The parts where it does not talk about PlayStation, the part where you play the 3D platformer is great. They're doing shit that is delightful. There are abilities and stuff. At one point you turn into a sponge and like you can suck up buckets of water and then you get really, really big and then you can use some of the water and you shrink a little bit and then you have to use that to move through spaces and put out fire and move around.
Yeah, I mean it's Nintendo level of kind of like
consideration and like ability care, like
which is unbelievably strange, honestly, that we have not seen more teams attempt and succeed at that in the past.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I think someone in John Bomb chat today was like, is it worth buying a PlayStation 5 for? And the answer to that question, I think I think it's a very flat no. It is the first game where I have been like, well, now I understand why they made the box.
Right. Because
there hasn't been anything that I've played on it that I have not felt like I could have just played on a PS4.
4. Yeah.
This was the first thing where I was like, oh, like cool.
Yep.
Like this is what video games are now.
I just remember like, Media Molecule making Little Big Planet. I remember how deeply they thought it was important to make everything kind of look very textured and tactile. And very like real, and like even back in PlayStation 3 era, I was very impressed by that. But the gameplay never met. It never rose to that particular occasion to be worth playing beyond a couple of fun levels with friends or whatever. And I liked Astro's Playroom because it kind of brought in that idea of like, let's. I mean, this sounds very backhanded as a compliment, but it's not. It's like, let's make a thing that looks like a tech demo, but actually is fun.
Yes.
And it's like, that's actually not a bad place to try to land if you can
because
get there.
It feels fake because it is fake. It's a fucking video game.
Right. Yeah, the artifice is very it's textural.
And if you lean into that, then it works most of the time. When for me, games fall apart when they try to be things that they are not. When it becomes clear that the people at the top are like, you just wanted to fucking make an HBO show, Neil. So like you figured out your fucking way to literally go make your HBO show, Neil. And like
you found the longest, most expensive way to get there. Yeah.
But it's like fundamentally that's what he wanted to do, right?
Yeah, very clear.
There are no grand designs for Astro Bot. Now, does Sony have grand designs for Astro Bot?
Of course.
Perhaps.
They've already drawn up Astro Bot World at fucking Knott's Berry Farm.
Exactly.
All the
Astro Bot's lasers chop your arms and legs off.
They're already destroying the Snoopy costumes and replacing with Astro Bot. Yeah.
But like Team Asobi, they said we are going to make a very good 3D platforming video game.
Yeah.
And then they did that. Yeah. I think it's great. It's I'm gonna have to I'm almost at credits. I think I probably have 5 or 6 like actual levels left. It is tied in my head right now with Balatro for my game of the year.
That's big.
So I need to do some thinking between now and December, but it's up there. It's great.
Huge.
If I had to knock one thing, I don't think the music is very strong.
Interesting.
The highs are high, but the lows it's boring, and it uses the same tracks a lot. So it just kind of feels like it's not as memorable, you know. Like the main theme is good, which is very important. But the music does feel kind of like a step behind. But it's like it's a step behind in an Olympic 100 meter, you know. So like you're still like it's still unbelievably good. Yes. Right.
That's cool. Well, I really can't wait to play. I'm despondent that I can't play it.
Sorry,
I've wanted to play. Have you kept up with Outlaws at all, or did you drop that?
I dropped it for this because I knew I was going to be able to finish it.
Okay. Do you think you'll go back?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to do that.
Legitimately excited about.
I'm excited to play.
I really like that game.
No, it's great. I mean, I want to play that. I want to play Space Marine 2.
Me too.
I mean, I want to play Astro Bot. Some good AAA shit coming out in the past little while, and I'm excited about that. One game that I thought might be there at the end for me to at least try out was Concord. And
I'll lend you my copy right now.
Oh, please do. They took it off the store.
They fucking took it off the store.
They took it off the store. 2 weeks.
I can't fucking believe they took it off the store.
They took it off the store.
When they took Cyberpunk off the store, I thought that was a once in a lifetime thing.
That's why I was so and it was like I was like they like only this team could get away with this shit too. Yes. And I was like, well,
we had our one, and how delightful it was. And then Sony, I guess, was like, oh well, they did it. We can just do it. We'll just take it off.
Just do it. Yeah,
we'll just take it off the fucking store, and now it's dead.
It's dead. I mean, I agree with Grubb. Grubb said like he thinks it's dead. Like this is not.
It's got to be.
And 8 years, multiple millions of dollars. I hear hundreds of millions of dollars, I should say, poured into it, but no marketing. I think something that I find interesting about Concord. I know there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, and it's definitely kind of annoying. But out of everything you could Monday morning quarterback, like this one's pretty clear. Like 5 years ago, there was not really a good market for this. 4 years ago, less good of a market. 3 years ago, even worse. 2 years ago, absolutely not. A year ago, are you fucking out of your mind? And 6 months ago, danger. And they went ahead and did it. And it feels like to me, Sony was just like, what if this comes out and it just hits the Helldivers to zeitgeist? It hits some sort of niche. We don't market it and becomes this like weird Cinderella story. And if it doesn't right away, we fucking pull the plug. And that's what they did.
It's like Sony got cocky, John. Perhaps.
Can you roll the tape? Oh, we don't have rights to that tape. Oh, man. Jordo, can you play something else besides that?
Something else.
Can you play USC Texas 2006 national championship game instead?
No.
That's the whole thing.
I want the thing where I was happy to be right instead. Yeah, dog, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason any of it should have happened. They should have canceled this game 4 years ago.
I don't know how it, like, my genuine question, and I feel awful for this Firewalk team. I really do. Because I have to imagine 80% of the team working on this knew this is fucking DOA a long time ago.
Yes.
Who is responsible for it not being canceled?
I don't know.
Because I am very, very curious. Like, I said it on Twitter a week ago or something. I was like, on its face, because Overwatch did fumble it so bad, in a vacuum, it is like, okay, what if we did make a game like that and we made all the right decisions?
Yeah.
But then you've got to make the right decisions, and they made none of them.
None of
really boring characters. We're going to charge you $40. And
we're going to spend money on parts of the game that are not the
that really don't matter.
Yes, that are like not the reasons that people play the game.
The fidelity this is such a good through line. We just talked about how fidelity can work for you if you are using it to increase the artifice of a fucking video game. But if you're like, we're gonna make the hero shooters, you're gonna see so much of their pores.
Yeah, who cares?
But you know what? Zoom out. What do you see? The most boring.
Yeah.
Nightmares of characters. Like I was watching someone doing color theory on these characters. It's like when I look at these characters, I see nothing because the color theory is so bad on these characters. And
one of the characters is a big yellow trash can.
It's fucking it's fucking Baymax, but it's yellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's just tough. And I have a million and one questions about like what Sony's plan is, because the plan, right, was, we don't have any live service games. Let's ask all of our studios to make live service games. And then we'll buy the company that's making a good live service game that people like in Bungie. And then we'll have multiple teams work on the live service games. And then we'll have Naughty Dog make a live service game off of the one property that they do have that people like. And then we'll cancel that because Bungie said it wasn't good. But then, like, did Bungie see this and say, this is good? It was
great.
Or, and this is what I actually think happened, Bungie probably was like, hey, yo, this fucking sucks. And Sony was like, well, we've already spent $250 million on it. At this point, we have to try to put it out, which is just like, this team was set up to fail top to bottom. Shouldn't have been greenlit. Or if it was greenlit when it was greenlit 8 fucking years ago, it should have been canceled 2.5 years later.
It should have been canceled.
And pivoted either into a third person behind the back character action game like the rest of Sony's games. Right. And it could have been a middling one of those, but would have been a less of a catastrophic failure than this is.
Right.
Or then you just don't have this video game come out.
Yeah.
And that's fine too.
I'll say something that I'm kind of surprised no one's done yet. This team should have made a fucking Borderlands. They should have they should have taken the good feeling shooting, which Borderlands doesn't have. They should have taken characters that if they like if there's at all a basis for them to not be like Borderlands, I'd be interested in that. Some sort of co-op. You know, it's like if the gunplay feels good and there's some character shit, I'm like, there are ways to not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
And go in a direction that is not so incredibly saturated. Like, I know Borderlands 4 is coming out, but it's like, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of just like, this is just a straight up co-op action shooter.
Yeah. It's Borderlands without the Borderlands.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, I'm at least interested in that.
Yeah.
To some extent.
And it's tough, right? Because in a just world, this work doesn't go to waste.
Right. There's something that comes out.
There's something that you can do with it, but they're not going to want to. They're so burned by it. They burned themselves on the stove. You know, like they turned it up to 100 and then they put their hand right on there and said, ow, it fucking hurts. Like, gang.
Yeah.
Like, you literally did this to yourself. So now, like, this studio, I'm hoping and praying that this isn't the case, but like, if you're Sony, you don't keep this one around. They've got stink on them, right? You rebrand the studio and maybe you just hope people forget, but what they're probably going to do is let the studio go and again, like, saturate this market with a bunch of unbelievably talented and smart people in a zone where there are too many talented and smart people because companies keep making catastrophic failures of their decisions keep ending in catastrophic failure because there's no foresight in the decision-making process.
I think one of the other things is like obviously this is not sustainable to spend this much money on a game over 8 years and still release it anyway when you can't even keep the lights on with the first wave of purchases. Yeah. So let's put that business part of it aside. Let's talk about the psychology of. We just talked about Astro Bot. We just talked about Astro Bot, Outlaws, Space Marine 2. In addition to things like Madden 25, College Football 25, NBA 2K 25, these games that a lot of people are going to still be playing right now, in addition to the live service games that they might already be dipping into: Apex Legends, Destiny, Fortnite, Rocket League, the Call of Duty beta, which looks fucking crazy.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm fucking excited amped to actually play Call of Duty.
Yes.
And you're going to release this game and tell the worldwide audience, if you don't latch onto this and make it the biggest thing in the world in the next 2 weeks, you'll never fucking see it again. Yeah. From a psychological standpoint, I'm like, what is even the fucking point?
Yeah. Yeah, why am I going to buy anything that you ever make?
Right. Yeah. Like who is this person that is going to be dropping everything that they're doing to prop this game up, which is what it was going to take? And it's just like, from that standpoint, from a customer identification and profiling standpoint, I don't understand the decision to release it at all.
No, yeah, exactly. And it's like I don't know. I'm desperate to know how much this game costs, but it's like, that's at least just like back of the napkin math. Sony could have had a game a month for a year. Like a double A quality game, a like 10 to 15 hour good video game that could have been their Capcom 5, right? Like their year of, like in their 30th year of PlayStation, to be like, we're releasing 12 games every single month. A brand new PlayStation 5 game is going to come out, and they're all going to be weird. And like, we're just going to fucking play. We're going to see what happens, culminating with Astro Bot, right? Or like kicking off with Astro Bot.
Right.
And instead, they put all the eggs in this one basket that already had big holes in it that were the exact size, shape of eggs.
It's just terrible.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It sucks for this team, dude. I'm upset for them.
Oh, it's awful.
Because you do what the people above you tell you to do.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And if nobody up there has the foresight to be like, hey, I don't think this is right, then like, you got to do your job.
The Jason Schreier dive on this thing in a month and a half is going to be
crazy.
Weird. I mean, just super, super weird. Speaking of which, Rocksteady did indeed lay off a bunch of their staff after Suicide Squad underperformed, which is a bummer. It's just, again, kind of very similar story of a game that had really nobody was asking for. No juice. No one's asking for it. If anything, people are asking for another really big, juicy single-player entry in this universe, and it just looks like we're never going to get it, which is genuinely very strange to me. I really genuinely don't understand it. I understand the kind of infinite growth models that people are going for, but at some point, like, if you're going to blow everything on that and not make anything, you might as well have made the thing that you're good at making.
Instead, like, and this is the thing that I have no idea what Sony does after this, right? Because the other games in the hopper are Fair Games. Do you know what Fair Games is, John?
No.
I didn't before yesterday. You know what Fair Games is?
No.
Fair Games is an extraction shooter that Sony is making, first party in-house. It's an extraction shooter. It's called Fair Games, with the S as a dollar sign. It's a real game, I promise you. It's a multiplayer extraction shooter. So you've never heard of it?
No.
It was announced in 2021, I think. Let me see. Fair Games.
Oh, yep, there it is with the dollar side.
It's from Jade Raymond's studio. Remember her?
Oh, I'm going to say something not very nice about Jade Raymond. Are you ready?
Hasn't made a good video game before?
Has not made a good video game in a very, very long time. Let me read out what she's worked on. Let's see.
Oh, it was announced last year. Sorry.
Okay, so Fairy Games, yes. But before that, it was Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, sure. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, not great. Watch Dogs, okay. Assassin's Creed Unity, one of those got a kind of a reappraisal later, but was not very good. Far Cry 4, a mighty quest for epic loot, and the disaster that was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
And she was not even like a big part of that game. She was the SVP Group General Manager. Since then, she became the head of a Google Stadia exclusive studio that went the fuck under completely before they even, I think, announced what they were going to make. So that's, and like Jade Raymond, I'm sure she is a great person, nice. Wow, does she need this game to come out and fucking kill it?
And it doesn't.
And I'm not feeling like it will.
Not amped. So I don't know. Like if you Google Fair Games right now, there's very clearly incredible spin happening.
A lot of spin happening.
Where every article is this Game Rant headline is rumor. Sony is very positive about upcoming first party live service game. Of course they are.
Yep, of course
they will let that leak the day after they announce that they kill. Like, what are you talking about, gang? So I don't know. There's that. There's whatever Santa Monica Studio is working on, which does not seem to be God of War 3. It seems to be something else.
Yeah. Good for them. I mean, first of all, just a quick aside. Good for them. Because boy, there's just nothing I could do at a studio that's like, we're going to make God of War for the next 20 years. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
No, anyway. Yeah, for sure. So to be like, we're getting out. Absolutely. Good on them. Mm-hmm. And then Marathon, which hopefully comes out sometime before the Heat Death of the Universe.
Hopefully comes out.
And then
we should both disclose that Colin McGregor works on the Marathon team, former fanboy person. So
I'm rooting for that game for
we have some internal optimism coming from that team.
Yes.
So that's great. And nothing I've seen would let me believe that it's not going to be good, but that's just the disclosure there. But yeah, that's got to hit.
And it's got to hit at a scale that seems impossible though, right?
It's got to hit at a scale that's more than Destiny at its prime. They seemed upset about Destiny at its prime when they owned them.
Yeah. So,
and I'm like, well, that seems like
doing?
That's
expect different.
That's putting her back against a wall that doesn't have to be there. It feels like.
Yeah.
And
then that's it. Yeah. Those are the only upcoming games. They canceled the Last of Us game. There was a rumor that came out the other day that Sony, in the wake of this, hit up Naughty Dog and was like, hey, what if you kick the tires on the Last of Us game that we told you to cancel? Which that seems nuts, right?
Seems crazy.
To be told, hey, like Bungie came in and said, no, this isn't good. Don't release it. It's been sitting for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then to come back and say, well, I don't know, maybe let's turn this car back on. That seems nuts. And then they canceled that Spider-Man game, which would have sold a bajillion fucking copies. Can you believe that? They had a multiplayer Spider-Man game.
It should have been really cool.
And then they said, nah.
It wouldn't be cool to swing around the city with a bunch of people.
No, why? Because that sounds fucking stupid, John. You idiot. You fool.
Who wants to have midair Dragon Ball Z battles in the middle of...
nobody.
Yeah, nobody wants
some kind of Spider-Verse. You fucking idiot.
You idiot. You idiot.
It's challenging. Like, I don't know what they're fucking up to. And it doesn't seem like they do either.
No, they don't.
Jim Ryan was like, I'll plant all these fucking seeds. I'll shit directly into the earth. Yeah. And everyone was like, yay, thank you so much, Jim Ryan. Thank you. Yeah. And then he left, and then the trees are growing shit.
I just can't wait. Like, if Phil Spencer ever decides to bail, it's like, oh, he made like 7 decisions that we don't even know about yet. They're gonna be fucking crazy. It's like, well, all right, gang, I'm stepping out. Next game, just real quick announcement before I leave. Next game that we're Starfield 2. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. we totally canceled Elder Scrolls. We were like,
people like space more than old stuff anyway.
Starfield was great. And then yeah. So we know we have that in store. Yeah, I don't know. Jim got out. Good for him. Make a bunch of real bad decisions. This is the thing that it is him.
This is the thing that I don't get, right? Like I don't have any respect for him.
I also need to say, when I say good for him, no,
for sure, obviously,
yeah, right.
But it's like I have no respect for him, but his legacy is still somehow going to be having them win the console wars,
right?
And then the second it became not that anymore, making a series of weird decisions, coasting off of the success of the previous generation, and then making a bunch of weird decisions that didn't really do anything for most of the life cycle of the PlayStation 5. And now that we are at the end of the life cycle, or approaching the end of the life cycle of the PlayStation 5, it's just fucking wet fart after wet fart.
Yep.
And it's like this is still him.
It's not good.
We have not seen what his successors, because they split that job. It's like his one job is now 3 people's jobs, or 2 people's jobs, or something.
Which should tell someone something, right? Like, this guy made famously bad choices for a long time. We should split this job into 3 parts, because I think like having it be one person might not be maybe too much. Yeah.
So like they have not gotten to do anything yet.
No.
So, and we won't see anything from them until the release of the PlayStation 6, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because of how long it takes Sony specifically to make a video game. So
PlayStation 5 Pro, I mean, there'll be...
That'll fix it. A $700 box will fix this shit right quick.
There will be 2 AAA first party games that like they're gonna really insist on you having a Pro. But I don't know what they are.
It's nothing.
I don't know what they are.
Coming out this year.
I know, but it's like I just mean between now and the 6.
Oh,
like I feel like but I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are.
And I would assume it's that. When did God of War come out? The second one?
21.
Okay, so not enough time. Well, we'll call
2022.
2022 is when Ragnarok came out.
Correct.
So 2025 that's not enough time.
It's not enough time.
It's not enough time because it takes them too fucking long to make a video game. So like Santa Monica Studio is not going to be ready with their thing unless it's small, but it's been so long at this point that I'm thinking that like it's not going to be small. So I don't know. I'm confused as to what their plan is. I don't think they have one. Neither does Microsoft. So I guess there's like camaraderie in neither of them knowing what the fuck to do. And Nintendo is just going to release another box in 5 or 6 months.
And they're going to keep doing the thing. They're going to keep doing the thing that we keep talking about, which is they just keep making games that people want and they make them very competently. And that's all that they do.
Yes.
Sorry for the hiccups, everyone.
I can't believe Jim Ryan is coming to your house.
Jim Ryan gave my diaphragm a spasm, which is very cool. Balatro is coming to mobile. It's going to end my life.
I hate this guy
very soon.
I fucking hate this dude.
Local Thunk is like, what if we kill John?
I hate this guy.
What if we do that?
Here's my critical question. I'm amped. Couldn't be more excited.
Right. I'll buy that fucking game on as many platforms as they want to give it to.
I tried to download it to my computer today. Well, I would have said I agree to that, but then I went to go play it today, and I realized I didn't own it on Steam, and I said I'm okay. Because I guess I only own it on the Switch.
I can't do it. Yeah,
it's like I don't need to. I can't willingly give. Like I'm okay. 100%. And it's coming to arcade, so I can wait 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it'll run on my Mac. But
yep.
Do you think, John?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to think long and hard. When you play the video game Balatro on your iPhone, are they going to ask you to hold the phone in landscape or in portrait mode? Think hard.
I think
because there's a correct answer.
I think Local Thunk is so smart that he will make it be vertical.
Thank God.
Possible.
Thank you. That's I hope to Christ, because legitimately and actually I will not be playing the game very much
if you have to hold it.
Yeah. If I have to hold it sideways, I'm not going to play it. I will play it like I know myself. I will play it less.
Yep.
There's nothing. Same. I don't like holding my phone already, and the idea of holding the phone sideways, I'm not going to do it. But
I hold my phone sideways for one reason only. It is pornography.
Pornography, and that's it.
That's it.
That's all. It's all it's for.
Folks,
it's the pornography mode.
That's not a joke. That is the only.
That's
the only mode.
I don't record video in landscape on my phone anymore.
No.
Like because it's not what it's supposed to do. The rectangle goes up and down, not sideways.
Yeah.
So I hope to Christ that Local Thunk has done it correctly, and it will be portrait. And if
I have
not,
faith.
then I'm sad.
I have faith. If it doesn't launch with that, I know that Local Thunk has at least thought about this.
And I'm sure there's a reason why. If it isn't that way, I'm sure it'll be okay. But like, there is enough screen real estate, to have it work portrait mode. So I'm hoping and hopeful that it is in portrait mode.
I'm excited about that. Speaking of games that I play with one hand, I've been playing Marvel Snap again, often at the dinner table, which is really rude.
That's good. At least you don't do it while you're driving like Grub does.
Yeah, that's not smart. That's not good. I can't do that.
I actually think
don't do that, Grub. I don't think that's probably not true. But they've added a new ability type to this game, which is basically an active. Jesus Christ!
Do you need a water?
Bad.
Do you want to? Does hitting yourself in the stomach help or hurt?
Why don't you stall for a second?
Okay, I'm stalling. Marvel Snap. I haven't played that game in 6 months, and by 6 months, I mean I don't think have played it in a much longer than that. I played the game for a month and a half after it came out when everyone was playing it, and then I started not playing against bots anymore, and I was like, this sucks. I liked it when I was playing against robots that were bad at the game.
They were really bad at it.
People who know how to play the game. This shit sucks. Yeah. So I stopped playing.
It's a brand new season with a new card called Symbiote Spider-Man, and with it came a new ability type, which is essentially when you put it on the board, you can at any point decide to activate its ability. So its ability is essentially it merges with another card, and it gets that card's ability. So it essentially destroys that card, but you get to pick when to activate that ability for a second time, which is very cool.
Oh, that's cool. Should I play Marvel Snap again?
Marvel Snap fucking rules. It is a game that
I'm downloading it right now.
I've gotten back into. I think it's very, very good.
You think they'll put me with bots again?
They'll put you with bots, I think, at the beginning.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's a brand new season, and you're probably like way behind most people who
of course
keep up with it. So it's like, they'll probably give you bots for a while.
Why does Deadpool look like this?
Look like what?
On the App Store? Why does he look so uggy?
Uggy? Oh yeah, he's like a version of Deadpool that's like a dead guy, I think.
Oh,
so there are lots of different Deadpools exist.
Okay,
in the variants of the cards, which is cool. So Marvel Snap is great. I still don't think it is a game that I mean, in theory, you can really not spend any money. I'm also very quick to spend money when I start to play that game again.
What do you spend money on in this game again? You buy the battle pass, right?
Yeah, so buying the premium battle pass will like give you a bunch of levels, including the card that comes with every single season, which is probably the best way to get cards, but also basically upgrading your cards. If you don't have the currency to do that, getting some money to do that faster in order to unlock other cards that you might have missed.
Okay.
So it's better than some games, but I still feel like it's a little.
Yeah.
They definitely got, you know what? They have their bases covered. I'll say that.
I would spend $30 one time on this game to get all of this stuff. You know, that's how I feel about it. And that's how I feel about most mobile games that are like this. Like if they just gave me the opportunity to give them $30 one time and I didn't have to worry about it, then I would feel okay. But obviously that's not that's not how the math works. The math doesn't math for them at that rate. So they don't do it.
They don't do it.
And they don't do it. And that's why I don't get what I want. Well, John.
Well,
that's video questions. Games, I think. Do we have anything else?
That's video games. We have questions from the Hive. Sure. We're in the Hive content channel of the Discord. Niki can ask these this time. Just pick the one. If you don't want to ask one, just don't ask one. We don't have to ask all these. But yeah, if you want to go to bgbs.com/join, you can join the Hive and ask us questions every single week in that channel.
Ooh, this one's from Lovick. Ask, what video game do you think deserves a Minecraft-esque live-action movie? Did you see that trailer, John?
I did. It deeply angered me. Yeah, it was horrible.
And there was a little. Someone had a take that was like, "It's not for you," and I'm like,
"But who is it for?
Who's it for exactly? Like
is it for 9-year-olds who like spend all day every day either playing Minecraft or watching Minecraft YouTubers? Like maybe."
And I guess maybe, but like they just had the Mario movie, which looked like the property. And this doesn't look like Minecraft. That was the thing that really got me, because it was one of those, I haven't had this in a long time. You know, right before when they announced that a trailer is going to come out on YouTube, there's a bunch of videos that are titled the name of the movie.
Yes.
And it's got like the big 4K button on the thumbnail. And then you click it and it's like, it's nothing. That's what I thought the thing that I was watching was, because I was like, this doesn't look right. Like literally that first pan of a tree that you see, I was like, that can't be.
It doesn't look right.
It felt like they built the entire movie out of that first Sonic the Hedgehog trailer where Sonic was wrong.
Yep.
That's what it feels like. And it does not feel like that they are going to go back and make it different. No
way.
It looks awful.
It looks really bad.
Truly terrible. I'll see it 6 times in theaters, I'm sure. What video game do I think deserves a live action movie? I think it would be cool. Oh, Minecraft-esque. I'm assuming that means it has to be bad though, right, John? It has to look awful.
I mean,
and kind of feel like not correct.
I assumed that a live action Minecraft movie would feel wrong. So I'm going to take that to mean like what's going to get adapted that's going to feel wrong basically no matter what.
Right. Why did the Lego movie work?
Well, because it was based on the idea of playing with Legos by yourself. So
then why didn't they just fucking do that for this?
For Minecraft? Because great question. I don't know.
Foolish.
I don't know.
They should make I've got it. They should make a Q*bert movie, but the entirety of it is just Josh Gad fucking Q*bert, like in Pixels. Just 90 straight minutes of that. And I think that's the biggest movie in America. #1 box office hit.
Okay. All right.
Remember when he fucks Q*bert? Hey,
Are you asking me if I remember the film Pixels with Adam Sandler?
Pixels with Adam Sandler and Josh Gad, where
I do.
Josh Gad fucks Q*bert.
Yeah, I remember.
She turns into a hot woman, and then they have children.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Miss Pac-Man.
No Pac-Man movie. What's that about?
It's just like a lady that's like being chased by ghosts and is eating the whole time.
That's good.
She's just like running and grabbing all the food she can off the shelves. Ghosts are just chasing her. And sometimes she'll pick up a cherry and then she can eat the ghosts.
Now, is it okay? Now, I think a Pac-Man movie would kind of bang if they turned it into a like the maze is the rat race of like living in New York City. So it's like it's kind of something. It's about something else.
So it's like a very elevated. Like, yes, this is a metaphor.
Yes,
yeah,
and it's like
and the ghosts are factors of her old life that she's leaving behind to solve the labyrinth of New York City.
Yeah, kind of New York City is its own character in this movie.
Yeah, almost like The Devil Wears Prada 2, which is coming out. Yeah.
I just think, but it would be sick if the ghosts were real.
No, I agree. I think that
if the ghosts were actually real and she was being chased by the ghost, it would be sick.
Yeah.
And like the tunnels of the subway are the maze tunnels, and there's a shot where like you're chasing her from behind, and then the camera like swings up and then does the top down, and then she is on the path.
Oh, she's and
she's it's all there.
It's all there. Great question.
PV Zach 64, hello Zach, has asked, can anyone teach you how to replace a car battery? It's actually really easy to replace a car battery on most vehicles that are gas powered. You just have to make sure the car is off, disconnect the stuff.
You just leave the car on, lick your finger, and go just like
touch it.
It'll basically kill it, and then you can take it out.
Yeah. All you got to do is just detach the stuff. It's the easiest thing. The air filter is probably easier.
That's very easy. But battery is easy. You turn the car off.
Yeah, turn the car off, detach the things, pull the battery out, put the battery in, reattach the stuff.
Yep.
It's easy. Watch a video on YouTube. It's like they're like 2 minutes long. I would actually say that if you ignore the electricity part where it could kill you, air filter is more intimidating because it feels more like you're going to break the car. Because you usually have to take out the glove box. Mm-hmm. And that plastic usually feels whack if you don't have like a expensive car.
Right.
So yeah. Also asked, what's the best thing in any video game's options menu?
Well, it's recency bias, but I still think it's the best. It's giving your crab a gun and
that's great. Treasure. And and the accessibility, that's great. That's
I just
good.
I can't beat that. I think like a serious answer. It's a little more thoughtful and old. Is like you used to be able to listen to every single track of a game soundtrack within the options menu.
That was really good.
Really cool, and they just got away from that.
If I put this copy of Concord into a CD player, do you think it would play the music?
That is a great question because you used to be able to do that. Like if I put a Sega Saturn game in my Saturn and left the door open, it would play like a CD player, and it would just play those tracks.
Yeah,
and that's really fun.
Cool. They should do that.
That's great.
Again.
They should do that again.
Sleeve McDykel asks, we've had a lot of video game adaptation talk. How about the best and worst licensed game? I've seen a lot of bad licensed games on Blight Club, so any of those. A RoboCop game, pretty bad. Seems pretty bad. I really like Star Wars Battlefront 2, the one that nobody liked.
Oh, the one that Jade Raymond made.
Yeah, Jade Raymond, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Well, not the part that I think she made the single player part. That part,
right? That part was not great.
But like the multiplayer in that game,
it's pretty fun.
Fucking bangs. Like I think it rules. I'm trying to think. We really like Madden. Boring answer.
Really boring answer. Really boring answer. Yeah, I was gonna say like the Starship games and for Nintendo 64. The Star Wars ones.
I didn't play those.
I thought those were really, really solid. They're really fun.
That
I like
DuckTales game is good.
DuckTales game is good. I liked the
Alien Isolation. I'm looking at a list now.
Alien Isolation's good.
Yeah.
The Chronicles of Riddick game was actually very cool.
Does The Witcher count as a licensed game if no one gave a shit about it before?
Man, I mean, I think very technically yes, but that's like, a tough one. It's become so much more of a property synonymous with the games for sure. But technically, it's true.
Let's see. Marvel Spider-Man. Like, I guess.
I mean, worst ones. They're easy answers like E.T. for Atari, which was very bad.
Mm-hmm. Killed the industry.
Yeah, pretty much. Famously killed the industry. There were a lot of James Bond games from the Pierce Brosnan era that were very bad.
Yes, that were not GoldenEye.
That were not GoldenEye. Like GoldenEye, totally great.
Was a mistake.
But like that was the exception, not the rule. The rule was these games fucking stink. So, good question.
Sleeve also asked another good question. Going back to some talk from earlier, what is a game you know is good but just don't click with? There was talk of the Outer Wilds and Tunic fitting this for several of us. Tunic is in there for me.
Tunic's in there for me as well.
I think it's Warframe for me.
Ooh, Warframe also for me.
I can't.
I haven't. It hasn't clicked.
I'm not smart enough. And like the beginning, I don't know where to. I've tried to do it multiple times. I know people who work on the video game. Mm-hmm. I can't do it. I don't know where to start. And it makes me feel stupid whenever I start that video game up because I look at it and I'm like, well, I understand all the words on the screen, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the thing I'm doing is correct or the right direction to go. So I think outside of Tunic, I think my answer is Warframe.
My honest answer that I think now kind of confidently say, because I've given it a lot. I've given it a lot of tries. It's Final Fantasy 14. It's one of those games that's like, I get why people love it. I get why it should. If it clicked with me, it would click with me, but it hasn't clicked with me.
Yeah.
The most it's clicked with me is when Natalie Flores is flying me around on her whale and then basically killing everyone in one hit because I was basically like the Aerith and like he asked for no pickles, like, or I was Cloud in that scenario and Natalie was just going around like killing everything in my path. And that was a fun afternoon and that was like the most fun I've had with it. And like, that was about it. So,
let's see. Grace has some good questions, but I want to save them for when you're not hiccuping.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill, Cool Spot, Mac Tonight, and The Noid. Hard one.
I would fuck Mac Tonight.
Yes, that is correct.
I'd marry Cool Spot and I'd kill the Noid.
That is exactly correct. That is exactly correct. Good job, John. You fucking got it in one. That is exactly correct. You have to kill the Noid. It's the only it is.
Folks, we can't stress this enough. You have to kill the Noid.
It really doesn't matter what you do with the other two, but you do have to kill the Noid. It's the only good option there. I think that's it. That's all the questions we've got. John's drinking. John's drinking a lot of liquid. Hopefully it works.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
I was kind of hoping that it would work. So if you wanted to ask me those Grace questions, we could do it from.
Well, okay. Well, we'll just keep talking.
Let's do the Grace ones, then we can go. I think that actually worked. Wouldn't it have been cool if I took your advice
when I said to do it like 10 minutes ago? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why are video games such a hotbed for culture war bullshit? Vox put out a big article on Black Myth Wukong today, so it has officially left containment. This was from yesterday, so the article went out yesterday.
The easy answer, and I think it's the correct answer, is video games are they don't necessarily require a long history of critical analysis in order to kind of have a seat at the table, I feel like. It is an art form that is new, and it is an art form that has been historically inundated with younger people who do not have a clear voice. It is a completely it is ruled by a media class that has been eviscerated and made fun of and mocked and harassed in a way that film criticism, book criticism, music criticism does not really totally get. And I think that it is an easy entry point because the big major Hollywood players, like if George Clooney was asked a question like this, he wouldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take questions about the wokeness of the movie he's making at any level at face value.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Javier Bardem get asked a question in Spanish like 6 months ago. What's it like to be the only man alive who actually seems to enjoy working with his wife? And he said, that question sucks, and I never want to see you in my press room again. And I'm just like, these people have power to shut shit down. And we, in my opinion, are spending an unbelievable amount of time acting as if these grievances have any sort of merit.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have to give oxygen to all of the things that get oxygen.
There is a cottage industry of, I think, mostly well-meaning, mostly men on Twitter right now who, if you did not actually have the context of who they are, you would think they were actually genuinely, by the letter of the law, obsessed with Mark Kern. Obsessed with him. They will not post anything unless it has to do with Mark Kern. That's a problem.
Yeah.
If the counter ops for these bad actors is you have to remind us that they exist every moment of every day with every breath they take, you're doing harm.
Yeah.
So that's my version of that. And I guess there's probably more to it than that, but I guess that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's like there's not some ideas are not legitimate. I think like
some ideas are we've like this is true. Like some ideas are just not legitimate.
Yeah, like, and I think that there is like a democratization of the internet, right? That allows people to present ideas in ways that makes them feel like they all have the same amount of weight. They do not. Ideas are bad sometimes. Sometimes people are bad, and then sometimes those bad people have bad ideas. They do not get to drink the same water that the people with good ideas, the people with non-harmful ideas get to drink. But because of this marketplace of ideas, like horizontal structure of conversation on the internet, everyone gets to talk. And that then means that people think that all of it means the same thing, which just isn't true and is not how like the real world works, right? Like if you consistently have stupid, shitty, bad ideas in public, you know what happens to you? You are ostracized and you don't have those shitty, bad ideas anymore.
Right.
Or if you do, you have them yourself, you know? But then the internet changes that conversation, right? Like it changes it completely because then those people who have the bad ideas find each other who also have the bad ideas and it stratifies and becomes something much bigger.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's just that. Also, like, I think like you were saying, because there have been so many waves of games media folks who have come and gone and then come and gone and then come and gone and then come and gone. There's no, Dan was had this realization on the show on Dump Truck today. He was like, I guess I'm an elder statesman in this industry.
100%.
Like, that's crazy.
100%.
Like, that's insane, right?
100%.
Like, which isn't like to denigrate Dan, like Dan, who has done incredible work over the course of the last 15 to 20 years of being in this business.
Of course.
But that's nuts. There's like 4 of him.
That I'll tell you this, the weird period of time where we were recording Jeff Gersman to come work for us at Fanbyte, were so wild to be able to talk to someone that has that long of an experience doing this.
Yeah.
And it is a very small group. An unbelievably small group. They've either gotten out,
yes,
or they've just stopped.
They've stopped. Yeah.
And it's like, and me and some others, weirdly enough, we're about to get into that level of like, okay, in 10 years, like there's going to be a new class of it. And who the fuck knows who's still going to be there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll still be there. I have no idea. But
because there are people, there are not very many people who have been doing it for so long, it means that any chuckle fuck
can
kind of has the same weight and the same ability to talk,
which is disgusting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because there's no legitimacy. Reverence. There's no legitimacy because it has been burned to the ground so frequently and so often.
Yeah.
So that gets you into situations where people can just start saying shit, just because they got a good WordPress.
Right.
Or just because they have a lot of followers on Twitter.
Right.
So I don't know. It's dark out there. Just
dark out there.
Don't
Good question, Grace.
Great question. You also like so deeply, like we don't gotta play the game anymore. Like you don't.
No, we don't.
You don't have to engage with it at all. You don't like. You really don't need to. I have gotten to the point where I am so deeply unplugged from most of this shit that I'm like, that ain't me anymore.
Well, you're not.
Like, I don't know.
You're simply not missing anything because it's been the same fucking thing for the past.
Yeah, exactly. 6 months. And it's like I don't need to waste my time on it. You don't need to waste your time on it. Like I will continue to play and think about these games separate from the fact that like there is a machine that exists to perpetuate or that perpetuates its own existence off of the fact that people need to do a culture war about everything.
Yep.
Excuse me.
No.
So yeah.
Great
That's
question.
it. Good
questions
Favorite
this
indie
week.
game you've played recently? Destiny 2. Fortnite.
I love those indies. Those cool indies. My real answer is Tactical Breach Wizard. Still been playing that.
I gotta
that's
play
a really
that.
good one.
I thought that was a real game though, so I did get upset.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, I thought it was like where I could like control the guys.
Oh, it's a turn-based. It's a turn-based. Yeah,
I was really excited about it for a second.
now, granted, I will say, sounds pretty fun to play an action game.
Yeah, before I saw it in motion, dog, it did sound pretty fucking sick.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
And then I saw it and was like, it's one of those. A Nerium special, huh?
It's a Nerium special. Yeah. Danielle Riondo's already got 450,000 hours on it. Yeah. So true. Thank you so much for the questions, folks. We didn't get to a few of these. We might save them for next week because we got so many this week. But yes, once again, you go to vgbs.com/join and join the Hive right now at a few different tiers. We sure do appreciate your patronage. Let's get out of here, huh? Niki, where can folks find you?
You can find me nowhere. That's not true. You can find me on Twitter at Godsua Blue Sky. I'm back on there. I re-downloaded the app. Nice. I was off for like 2 months or some shit. I just was like, I still don't think the website has the juice.
No, I don't know if it does.
it fundamentally just doesn't have the juice. I
don't know.
But I re-downloaded it because I saw that when they canceled Twitter, I'd re-downloaded it because I saw that they killed Twitter in Brazil. And I was like, a bunch of people are probably gonna come over.
Yeah, they did. I got like 40 followers in a couple of days.
Yeah. So I think I still don't think it has the juice, but I'm back on there. I think my @ is NikiGrayson.com. You can find me on Giant Bomb most days of the week. And
you've been there for a year.
I was there for I know.
Yeah.
I forgot. I think it was like last month.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
And John and I have a comedy podcast called If You're Driving, Close Your Eyes. You can go to ifyou'redriving.com to check out the Patreon and find the episodes and all of that. LB comes back this week.
LB.
And I think that's it. Find me on Instagram if you want. I'm not really like pushing my Instagram that crazy, but like I'm gonna start posting more of the pictures that I take on there. I will not engage with you probably on there.
That's, you know what?
Just as a heads up. But if you want to see the pictures I'm taking, you can head over there. What about you, John? Where can they find you?
Oh God, you can find me at Floppy Adult basically everywhere, including Blue Sky and Twitter. You can find VGBs at VGBs everywhere. You know, we have that podcast. It's very good. If you're driving, close your eyes is great. LB's back, and that's it. So yeah, go to VGBs.com/join. Join the Hive. You can join our Discord at discord.com/VGBs. Nope.
You did the same thing last week.
I did it. Same thing last week.
Are you sure you can't?
I think actually, that might be right. Discord.com/VGBs.
No, wrong.
Okay. VGBs.com/Discord. Oh boy.
Huh. So it's neither of those.
Okay, wait. There's a real one. There's a real URL here, folks. 1 second.
Discord.gg.
Discord.gg/VGBs. That's what it is. Good Lord.
Yes, we got there.
You do that to join the Discord. You don't have to become a member to do that. You can just get on
down there and hang out. In the Discord.
Get on down there. Jerry Jones says, hey, it's a great place to hang out.
Only extra $5.
Only extra $5, and you can join the cool channel. Anyway, till next week, everybody. Keep on buzzing.